Spain, torrential rain turns lethal as flash floods surge through the south and east, dragging lives, vehicles, and certainty into violent rising water. This is a running emergency unfolding hour by hour as rivers swell and streets disappear.
¡Hostia, tía! ¡Dios! Es que le ha caído el muro encima.
Mira, Daisy, está lloviendo acá.
Emergency alerts escalate across multiple provinces, jumping from simple warnings to red and orange danger levels. Authorities beg residents to stay indoors, avoid riverbanks, and abandon unnecessary travel. Yet the water ignores boundaries, laws, and instructions, pushing into neighborhoods and roadways. The idea that people can manage the situation begins to crumble.
Porque la lluvia nunca se hunde.
La gente por los coches.
¿Al suelo?
Ay.
In Málaga province, usually quiet riverbeds roar back to life with terrifying speed. Channels that look harmless on dry days now carry debris, branches, and broken fragments of daily life. Vehicles parked too close or driven through shallow-looking crossings are caught off guard. In moments, cars and motorbikes are torn free and dragged into the current like toys.
Ahora mismo ya está salido de su cauce y lo tenemos en 3 metros, ¿no? Casi 3 metros.
Granada feels the same violent transformation as rain funnels through its valleys and town streets. Narrow channels become violent torrents that hammer against bridges and low crossings. Places that once felt safe and predictable are now ambush points for rushing water. One wrong judgment at a flooded crossing can become a final decision. In Valencia, the urban landscape intensifies the threat instead of absorbing it. Concrete and asphalt repel the rainfall, forcing water to race across surfaces and dive into underpasses and tunnels. Streets fill faster than people can react, trapping vehicles in rising pools. Escape routes vanish one after another as the water climbs higher.
Madre mía.
Porque la lluvia nunca se hunde.
La gente por los coches.
¿El suelo?
Ay, ay, Dios mío. No pasa nada, cielo. Esto aquí estamos en hartos, aquí no nos pasa nada.
Further north, Catalonia experiences its own assault as storms slam into Barcelona and surrounding towns. Fierce winds hurl debris while intense rain destabilizes pavements and public spaces. In the chaos, a woman is seriously injured and rushed to the hospital, a human symbol of how quickly this storm punishes any exposure. The line between safe and unsafe narrows to a few unpredictable seconds.
Eso es la carretera.
The human toll continues to grow even as the storm is still underway. One person is confirmed dead after being caught in the flood, and 2 others are missing, their fate unknown in the churning water. Their absence hangs over the response like a shadow that refuses to move. Every phone call unanswered, every name called into the wind deepens the pain.
Tranquila. Sí, claro.
Search and rescue teams work along swollen waterways where the riverbanks themselves cannot be trusted. Currents shift direction and speed without warning, hiding hazards beneath muddy surfaces. A calm-looking stretch can explode into turbulence with a single upstream surge. Each step close to the water is a calculated risk between saving lives and becoming another victim. Infrastructure across the affected regions strains under relentless attack. Roads begin to fracture or disappear beneath sheets of water and moving debris. Bridges, culverts, and smaller crossings are tested beyond their limits, sometimes failing with little warning. Transport links break apart, isolating neighborhoods and delaying critical emergency responses.
Madre mía, mira, 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 mira. ¡Oh! Madre mía. No veas tú que tiene un chalet aquí, ¿sabes? Mira, mira.
Floodwater carries dangers that are not immediately visible. Runoff mixes with sewage, chemicals, and urban waste, turning streets into slow-moving contamination zones. As water invades homes and businesses, it leaves behind more than mud and damage. It leaves health risks that linger. Even when the surface dries, what is left in walls, floors, and soil remains a threat. Inside flooded and threatened homes, families endure long, suffocating hours of waiting. Rain hammers the roof while phones glow with emergency messages, news updates, and calls from worried relatives. Power flickers or fails, plunging rooms into a deeper kind of uncertainty. Sleep becomes impossible as every sound is measured against the fear of rising water.
Izin melaporkan dan untuk di Jalan Perhubungan Pulau Brayan, tepatnya di kawasan pinggir rel mengarah ke Jemadi. Ini terpantau
Evacuation centers open under pressure as authorities move people from the most dangerous zones. Families arrive carrying hurriedly packed bags and the shock of leaving their homes behind. These shelters provide a roof and safety, but not clarity about the future. No one knows what they will find when they return, or whether there will be anything to return to at all. Officials warn again and again that the worst may not be over, even when the rain briefly softens. Floods in Spain's river systems do not always move at the same pace as the clouds above. Rainfall upstream can trigger sudden surges downstream hours later, long after skies clear in one location. Rivers remain unpredictable, and any sense of relief is fragile and temporary. In places where water finally recedes for a moment, the scale of damage emerges like a second shock. Streets are coated in mud, vehicles lie stranded at odd angles, and riverbanks are lined with wreckage. Cleanup teams stand ready but cannot fully commit while heavy rain still threatens. The scene feels less like an ending and more like an open wound. This running disaster exposes how vulnerable parts of Spain are to sudden extreme rainfall. Short, violent storms are overwhelming drainage systems, urban plans, and old assumptions about weather patterns. Steep terrain, dense cities, and aging infrastructure combine to amplify the danger. Each flood feels like both a natural event and a warning about what may come more often. For the families of the missing and the communities counting their losses, time is heavy and unforgiving. Spain is still inside this unfolding crisis, with destruction active and danger lingering along every swollen river. Yet amid fear, grief and exhaustion, something stubborn holds: the will to stand together. As the waters rise and fall, people are already planning how to clean, rebuild, and prove that even a storm this fierce cannot wash away their determination to continue.